What's up, guys? It's day 33 of the video blog, and I have some pretty good news. Usually I'm like, oh, I'm so behind, da da da. Well, yesterday and the day before, I earned over 9,000 VPPs, which is almost 1.5 times pace for a regular day. So I'm pretty proud of myself, and I'm going to get after it today shortly. I'm going to probably play slightly less today because I plan on going to CrossFit and going to yoga, which I haven't done in over a week. So I'm pretty excited that I feel like I earned the opportunity to do those things. Anyway, a concept that I want to talk about today that I think was monumental to my development as a poker player and as a person is called putting all your eggs in one basket. And what's really cool about this idea is that I got it from somebody who I kind of admired and looked up to in college, who actually didn't like me very much at the time. I was pretty impressed by them as a human and what they were doing with their life, but in the times that we hung out, I kind of got the impression that he thought I was a bit of a dick, which maybe I was. I don't know. Maybe I hit on his girlfriend or something. I don't really remember the details, but I've since talked to him and told him that this article he wrote about putting all your eggs in one basket, at the time that I read it, completely changed my life, and he was very grateful. He's actually a total boss these days. His name's Derek Halpern. He's the founder of Social Triggers, which is a huge social media marketing website. But anyway, I told him how much of an impact this article had in my life, and he was very gracious, and he doesn't dislike me now. But at the time in school, we didn't even get along, but I still was like, this guy's ideas they're good, this one especially. And I think it's cool that you could have an impact on somebody who you may not even get along with, because even if he still didn't like me to this day, which I'm sure it's water under the bridge by now, it's kind of cool because the whole world who interacts with me will get to interact with a better James because of what he put out there to the world. And that's kind of why I feel happy to put the things out that I think are important to the world, because I don't really care if people like me. I don't care at all. But if I say something to somebody and they take away from it something, and then that makes them a cooler person or a happier person, and then maybe they'll be more positive to somebody else, it's kind of like this big paying it forward kind of thing where I'm making hopefully the world more in line with a way that I think would be more positive for everybody. And that's kind of just my goal in this. I don't want anything, and I just think it's cool. So anyway, this idea of putting all your eggs in one basket, the article referenced this general. I'm really terrible at history, which might have come up in an earlier video blog, but I think it was Mao Zedong or something. I don't know. I'm awful. But they were invading, might have been Poland. I don't know. And his first command to his troops was to turn around and burn their boats that they came in on. And this became kind of a thing between me and one of my close friends at the time. We'd always talk about burning our boat. And what it means is having no going back, an understanding that there's no going back. Just a minute.
Yes, okay.
Sorry, that's my help. So this no going back idea, basically, once you commit to making a decision, it's not really a decision until you are kind of cemented in it and you can't change your mind. That's when you've really decided, when you've taken action and there's no going back. When you say you're going to do something and you think you're going to do something, the decision doesn't take place until you're in the doing and it's too late to turn back. And putting all your eggs in one basket, for me at the time, I was playing poker and I was also trying to become a writer, and I was blogging and I was looking for jobs in sales, and I was really just kind of doing a bunch of stuff at the same time. I didn't really know what I was going to accomplish. I hoped poker worked out. I hoped writing worked out. I hope I found a good job. All those things didn't work together. I didn't have any kind of foundation. And I basically needed to pick something and put my all in it. If I wanted to get another job in sales, I needed to, just hit the pavement, get interviews, do all that stuff. If I wanted to be a writer, I need to write all the time and work super hard at that. And if I wanted to play poker, I needed to quit messing around going to interviews for jobs I don't want and quit writing about who knows what and focus on playing poker and getting better. So that's what I did. I picked poker of the three. I mean, I don't know if it was the best choice or not. I don't really care. The point is, it's what I wanted the most of the time, so I picked it, and I did it. And I stopped with everything else. I just cut it all out, and I put poker. And it kind of ties in with this idea Malcolm Gladwell talks about, and I think it's Blink might be the tipping point, might be Outliers. Yeah, it's Outliers, but it's the 10,000 hours law or rule. You've probably heard of it, but it basically talks about how people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, people like Bill Gates with Microsoft, he had this unprecedented access to a computer lab, which allowed him to spend this like supposedly magical number of 10,000 cumulative hours working on this, and that's how he developed this, this level of expertise. And there is a certain level of expertise you have to reach if you want to really excel at something. If you're trying to do something hard and you want to do really well at it and be special, well, you need to put in a lot of time. I mean, some people have genetically or biologically better abilities to learn than others, but we've all heard the phrase hard work beats talent and talent doesn't work hard. And I don't like speaking cliches, but I always say most cliches are true. I mean, if you put in the time, you're going to get good at something, period. So whatever it is that you want to do, you kind of have to make it your priority and sink your life into it. And when you start sinking your life into something, it's a bit late to turn back. I mean, we don't want to waste our lives. And once you start telling people this is what you're going to do and you start actually doing it and people are seeing you're doing it, it's hard to turn back because quitting is like, I don't know, it's not natural to quit, to stop, to fail. It's natural to fail, but it's not natural to not pick yourself up and go again. It's not natural to say, I can't do this. I mean, that's learned helplessness, if you ask me. So, anyway, putting all your eggs in one basket isn't necessarily about being irresponsible. I'm not saying, if you're trying to play poker, put all your bankroll in one tournament and hope you win it. I'm not saying that at all. Rather, what I'm saying is you pick what you want to do and you don't accept no for an answer, period. If it hasn't come to pass that you are achieving at the level you want to be at, you're just not there yet. And it's really that simple. You just don't accept no for an answer. You keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying. I remember the singer Jewel. She's got like a country or pop singer or whatever. She used to sleep in her car for 2 years, I think, in the backseat of her car, doing gigs. And then eventually she became a massive star. And if I don't know her, obviously, but if you asked her at some point, what are you doing? She would say, I'm a musician, then and now. I mean, now she might be retired, but the point is, she was on the path, and it wasn't necessarily an easy path, but she ended up becoming a huge star. And if you gotta have that willingness to sleep in a car. I think part of the reason I've been successful in poker is because I had that willingness to not be successful. I was willing to be broke. I was willing to couch surf. I was willing to live in a country where I knew no one because I wasn't willing to give up what my dreams were, and I wasn't willing to accept that something wasn't possible for me or that I couldn't do it. And that's what putting all your eggs in one basket is about. It's about not accepting anything short of everything that you want. And it has nothing to do with being irresponsible or stupid about that process. It has everything to do with embracing the process and just going for it 100%, no fear, no second thoughts. And it leads into a bit what I want to talk about in a future video, which is like kind of once you've gone into something all out, how you can start opening up a little bit of space to add some more things in your life that may have conflicted, but kind of at the onset of an opportunity that you're really going for. I think that's when you have to put all your eggs in one basket, and then eventually I think maybe you can build a bigger basket and have a little bit of room for some other things in there. But when you're really trying to accomplish something you've never done before, you just absolutely have to take a kind of dedicated action that perhaps you've never taken before. And that's a concept I wanted to get out there so I can build upon it in a future video. And it really changed my life a lot. I'd never be where I am today if I didn't read that article that imparted these thoughts onto me, and I just kind of wanted to share it and pass it on. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to get to playing. Take care, guys.